Hi everyone, welcome or welcome back to my channel Destiny Moon Tarot, and welcome to yet another pick a card reading, the first pick a card reading of the year. Happy New Year everyone, happy 2024. I hope this year is filled with love, joy, happiness, success, health and abundance for you all. Now, even though this is the first reading of the year, I want this to be a timeless reading. So, like, whenever you're finding this reading, know that there are messages in here for you. And I'm kind of creating this reading with the intention that you can come back to this reading whenever you feel like you want to look for some answers, you want to know how you can love yourself more, or you just need a pick me up, you just need to know what you can do to love yourself more, or just hear these messages on days when you feel not very lovable. Okay, so like that's the intention with which I'm filming today's reading. So it is a timeless reading, but it is the first reading of the year because I do feel like a lot of people set New Year resolutions, and just in case your New Year resolution for this year or your word for this year is self love and prioritizing self love, then this reading is definitely going to help you build on that resolution. So, without any further ado, let me introduce you to today's groups for you to pick from. We have group number 1 with the lapis lazuli heart crystal, group number 2 with the rose quartz heart crystal, and group number 3 with the opalite heart crystal. Now you can take as much time as you need to pause this video if you'd like to pick either one or multiple of these groups intuitively, and once you have made your decision, you can find the timestamps that correlate to your group's reading in the description box below as well as in the pinned comments. Hi group 1, welcome to your reading. You guys chose the lapis lazuli heart crystal. So let's find out how you can love yourself better, how you can love yourself more, what you can do on days when you don't feel lovable. How can you feel lovable on days like that? So first up, we have the gardener. We have self-compassion. Today I treat myself with loving kindness. We have connect with fire. We have fresh start, and we have potion. Remember to practice self-love. So yeah, I mean, this reading in general is about self-love, but yeah, the fact that we also have the self-love card come up here just makes a lot of sense, because I feel like this is my group that kind of forgets to take care of themselves. You guys are probably my people who prioritize other people's needs before your own. You put other people before yourself. When you're in a relationship or when you care about someone, you are more of a giver, and it takes a lot for you to even say what's on your mind when you want to be given the same sort of love that you so freely give to others. So maybe that's like something that you struggle with, asking for your expectations and your needs to be met. Maybe you are the group that feels like you're asking for too much, or you don't want to come across as high maintenance, or you don't want to come across as too clingy or too needy. But I think what happens in that process, or maybe you have been that person and now you're wanting to change that about you, which is really good, which is advice that's definitely coming through for you with the gardener. And I mean, these 3 cards right here is what your reading is basically about, because I do feel like you're done being the giver, and you're done not having your own needs met, and you're done having to listen to things like, oh, you're too high maintenance, or you're asking for too much, your expectations are too high. You're done hearing these things and you want a fresh start. And I think that begins with you pouring self-love into yourself, group number 1. I think what you need to do is begin with pouring all of that love that you give so freely to others into yourself, into your own cup, so that other people can see, like, she gives so much because she also gives herself that much. Okay, because I feel like at some level the givers will always remain the givers, and like the takers will always remain the takers. So instead of asking you to like change yourself, or instead of expecting yourself to completely change yourself and become more of a taker and less of a giver, what you can do is give yourself the love that you're giving out to other people, and that kind of sets a standard for other people, so that they think two things. One thing, that obviously this is how much this person loves themselves, and that's a reflection of their own self-worth, their own self-esteem. So I can't play with this person, I also need to match their energy, or I won't be welcomed in their life. And secondly, when these people see you giving so much, it'll make sense to them. They are not going to think that they are special, because they'll be like, she also, or he also loves himself that much, or herself that much. And because that's just how they know how to love, that's just how group number one loves. Loving me and giving me this much love comes easily to them, because a lot of people are kind of insecure as well, right? Like when you give them too much, they feel very smothered, they feel very overwhelmed. They're like, oh my god, how does this person have so much to give, and why are they treating me like this, why are they putting me on a pedestal? A lot of people have that notion about themselves, right? Like that's how they think about themselves. They're like, what have I done to deserve this? And like, oh, this person must think that things between us are very serious, and that's why they're loving me like this. Little do they know that you love everyone like that. If there was someone else in that person's place who you loved, you would also be loving that person in the same exact way. So instead of changing who you are and how you give, change who you give that to, and also begin by giving that love to yourself first, so that it just is normal, so that other people see exactly where you're coming from when you're giving that love so freely. Okay, so it doesn't look like, it's a desperate attempt to get me to like group number one, or it's their way of making sure that I don't leave them, or I get attached to them, or that they need me so they depend on me. No, instead of coming across that way, you're just gonna come across in a way that like, hey, this is who I am, this is how much I give, this is how I give. And that makes you special because you're at the receiving end of this kind of love. But that also at the same time doesn't make you special, because this is how I would treat anybody I love. Yeah. Does that make sense up until now, group number one? So, yeah, I definitely feel like you want a fresh start. You want to start being taken seriously and being given the love that you have been giving away. And that begins with you being kinder to yourself, you showing love and compassion to yourself, and you really tending to your own garden. Okay, you really taking care of your own body, mind, and soul. Okay, so like you just nourishing and nurturing your own garden, you watering your own grass, and then like just uh waiting for like the flowers to bloom, and that is going to attract the butterflies and the honeybees. And yeah, yeah, so it's basically just you getting in touch with your inner fire, you getting in touch with that passion, with that love, with that empathy that you have, that glows so much so that sometimes it burns other people, and like they feel like it's too much, that you're giving too much, and that you also need too much. But when you connect with that fire within you, when you connect with your own sense of um, worthiness, your own sense of compassion and empathy, your own like energy, when you get in touch with that power, with that passion, and you love yourself with that energy, it attracts other people who will appreciate and acknowledge that energy and will also reciprocate that energy. Yeah. So yeah, these are the things that you can do. I mean, I feel like giving yourself a hug, sitting in like a warm cozy room, trying to make like ambient lighting, having like a nice candle lit somewhere, enjoying some time out in nature, lighting a bonfire. These are things that you can do to really feel loved. Okay, like, yeah, because I feel like for you guys, group number one, the way that you can experience love from other people is if you love yourself. Okay, so like, you need to go in your own hermit mode, you need to go inwards and really love yourself in order to attract people who can love you. Because I feel like this is the group that is craving for love from another person. Okay, not that that's a bad thing at all, I don't say that in a bad way at all, because I mean, I feel like that's what we all want. At the end of the day, we all want love and we all want respect, and maybe in the past you haven't experienced that, and that is what your soul truly craves for. And the only way you'll experience that if you give yourself that. Okay, so you know how it feels, and when you know how it feels, you will know who is treating you that way, who like, which other person is making you feel that way and which person is not, so that when you do come in contact with people who are not making you feel that way, you can completely, like, nip that situationship or relationship in the bud itself, right? um and like, not get too emotionally attached to someone who is not going to appreciate you, not going to appreciate and acknowledge the love and the care and the empathy that you give to other people that you care about, right? So yeah, let's get your tarot now. Let's get some more information about how you can love yourself, group number one. So we have the King of Cups. Yes. Okay. We have the Empress. We have the Six of Swords and we have the Nine of Cups. I only wanted one card, but two have come out for you, so we'll take them both. No problem. It's okay. And that could be a sign, when you feel like you need something. That's a start as well. Just asking, shamelessly asking for whatever it is that you want, because there's no harm in letting people know exactly what you expect out of them, and if they can give that to you, that's great, and if they can't, that's okay. You can give yourself that, and you can always find other people who will readily give that to you. Okay, just because one person can't give you what you're looking for doesn't mean that you'll never get it. Okay, group number one, bottom deck energy, we have the Ace of Cups. So yes, there is like a fresh new beginning when it comes to love in your life. Okay, so this could mean that the next person you meet or the next relationship you're in is going to be your um, first healthy relationship, or it's going to be a very healthy relationship, or it's going to be maybe your first relationship just in general. Maybe you've never even been in a relationship, maybe you've just experienced people using you, or like, being in the friend zone in quotes, or like, maybe you've just experienced being in situationships, or being the friend who just, yeah, is there, like, not even a friend, like, you're just conveniently there for these people to talk to when they have no one else to talk to, and when they do, then they don't even look at you, they don't think about you, they pretend like you're some crazy person just chasing after them, when that's absolutely not true. Like, I'm picking up on this energy where, like, maybe you've been treated like this person, or like people in the past would stay up all night talking to you, but in the morning when you meet them, they just walk past you and they just pretend that they don't even know you. So maybe that's something that you have experienced in the past. But like, I definitely feel like the next relationship you're going to be in after you do all of this inner healing and inner work is going to be one that's going to be a very, very healthy one, an emotionally healthy one, because you're going to be with someone who genuinely understands you and gets you and gives you princess treatment, because you treat yourself like the empress that you are. You put yourself on a pedestal, you set yourself for such high standards because you have so much to give. So like, why shouldn't you expect the same in return, right? Why shouldn't you expect the same level of love and respect that you give to other people? Like, why shouldn't you? So, yeah, I definitely see you walking away from any kind of connections, any kind of beliefs, any kind of ideas you have about yourself that you're not worthy, or that, nobody's gonna love you the way that you deserve it, or like there aren't good people out there. You're moving away from that and you're focusing more on what it is you want to experience, okay? By giving yourself that, by like really going in deep, understanding your own emotions, understanding your own traumas, understanding your own needs, healing in places where healing is needed, and really looking after yourself, really nurturing yourself, doing that inner work, doing that inner healing, doing that inner child healing as well. And slowly, then once you step into a place of like a healthy sense of self, you're going to be in a place where you will start recognizing what it is you expect from other people and what you want from other people and what you will not settle for. So like, basically making your list of the kind of person that you would like to be with, the kind of relationship you'd like to be in, what you're not going to settle for, your non-negotiables. Once those become clear, I feel like you will be able to manifest just a lot of attention, a lot of um you know attract, like you'll be attracting a lot of people. A lot of people will have their eyes on you because you will be so focused on yourself that like all of that all of that glow up is definitely going to show. So like, yeah, when you go within and you work on yourself, it's going to show externally, and that could result in you being the thing that a lot of people want. Okay, so like, I feel like a lot of people will want your attention, a lot of people will give you attention. You might become the hot new thing. And yeah, like, it's giving main character energy. Okay, you're gonna become that girl and or that boy. Okay. And Yeah, I do feel like it's gonna feel like a wish come true. Okay, this next relationship that you're going to be in is going to feel like a wish come true, and you'll be glad that you didn't settle for anything less, and you're going to be glad that you did all of this inner work and all of this inner healing. And I also feel like you're just going to feel very accomplished, you're going to feel very content with where you are once you start accepting yourself for who you are. Once you start, you know putting yourself first and prioritizing yourself first, you're going to see that it's going to have a domino effect in every other aspect and area of your life as well. If you have a public account on Instagram or like social media in general, I do feel like your followers might be increasing. Like, there will be a lot of eyes on you, a lot of people will want your attention, a lot of people will want to also give you attention. That is also something that I'm definitely seeing. So yeah, anytime you feel like you don't feel lovable, this is what I want you to remember, that you absolutely are lovable. And anytime you're feeling unlovable or you're feeling like, oh my God, who's going to love me? You have to remind yourself that you are worthy of love. You have to show yourself the kind of love that you want to experience. and really like bask and like marinate in that energy so that it attracts more energy like that into your life. Okay, group number one. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this reading. I'm going to end your reading right here. Give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Leave me a nice comment. Claim this energy in the comment. Let me know if this reading was helpful in any way. Subscribe to my channel for more readings from me, and I'll see you all in my next one. Bye, guys. Hi, group 2. Welcome to your reading. You guys chose the rose quartz heart crystal. So let's find out what you can do on days when you're feeling not lovable, or how can you love yourself more. First up, we have life purpose. Okay. We have presence. I am at peace in the present moment. Hmm. We have positive affirmations. We have determination as well as tree. Let them go. Okay. Immediately something that I'm picking up, group number two, is that you guys might be the overthinkers. Yeah, you guys are probably just like overthinking, overanalyzing, and jumping to conclusions. Um, like that's what you do best. And if you do, I'm right there with you because, yeah, that sounds like me as well. Um, But yeah, okay. So, what can you do on days when you feel like you're not lovable, or just in general, how can you love yourself more? First things first, try to be more present in the present moment, okay? And I know like these things are so cliche in the spiritual community, and you're like, what does that even mean? But like, I feel like when you are thinking about the future, like it's okay, it's fine to think about the future, it's healthy in fact to think about the future. What isn't healthy is being super obsessive about what's going to happen in the future, planning the future to such an extent that you don't want anything else, you're not open for anything else, you just want that thing to happen, or you don't want one particular thing to happen, right? And like, you just like make ups, and like you start off by just thinking about the future, but then that ends up being like a spiral where you are now making up scenarios in your mind, where you're like going down rabbit holes of situations that are probably never going to happen. Okay, because like 99% of the things that we think in our head never happen, right? Any fears that we have about the future, there's a 50-50% chance that it's going to happen or it's not going to happen, but like most of the times our worst case scenarios don't even happen, right? So like when that is happening, when we find ourselves spiraling out of control, thinking about the future, getting super obsessed with details, that is when we need to remind ourselves to come back to the present moment. Okay, you can try the 5 things technique. So you can notice 5 things around you that you can see. You can hear 3 sounds. You can touch one thing. Things that will slowly bring you back into the present moment. I think if you google this technique, you will be able to get more details about it. I'm like kind of forgetting what this detail is, I mean what this technique is called. It's the 5 4 3 2 1 technique, I think. Yeah, if you google it or youtube it, you will find more details about it. Or just anything that helps you come back to the moment, whether that's like snapping your fingers, literally saying out loud, okay, listen, come back, or just getting up and like moving to a different room, or just like getting some sort of movement, or like yeah, just anything, whether that's like taking 3 deep breaths, whether that's doing meditation, whether that is reading a book, whether that is drinking some water, whatever it is that helps you come back to the present moment. It could be as simple as just like looking down, looking at your hands, noticing the details of your hands, noticing how, like, noticing the sensations that you feel on your hands, noticing your feet, moving your feet. Yeah. um Whatever helps you come back into the present moment is what you need to do. Okay. Another thing that can really help you is positive affirmations. Now, you can either find positive affirmations online, print them out, write them down, post them on your mirror or by your bedside table, on your desk, whatever you'd like to do. Okay. Or you can do meditations where you listen to positive affirmations. There's lots of free ones here on YouTube itself. There are quite a lot of positive affirmations on, like, apps where you can listen to podcasts as well. So, like, even if you're on the go, you will be able to do this. You can, begin your day with positive affirmations. um, that is something that can help. If you are the kind of person who likes tattoos, because I can see a lot of words written on her body. So, like, if you're someone who likes tattoos, maybe getting a significant tattoo of the kind of energy you'd like to be in on your body. I know that's like a huge commitment, but like, I know for a lot of people that just works for them. Like, you can get a temporary tattoo as well. These days tattoos are just so, like, temporary tattoos as well look so realistic. Like, I know this one girl who has divine feminine tattooed on her hand, like right here in this space of her hand, and every time she looks at it, she's reminded that, she is the divine feminine, and that just helps her embody her divine feminine. So yeah, like how she has healthy, happy, brave, beautiful, worthy, grateful, I choose love, I love myself. She has all of these words written on herself. So, like, what you can also do is just every morning, like when you wake up, whatever affirmation you'd like, just like write it on your hand with a piece of paper or something of that sort. And, like, yeah, you can always do that. So at the end of the day, like when you take a shower or like wash your hands or something, it will wash away. So it's not like as permanent as a tattoo. But yeah, whatever, however you would like to consume positive affirmations, I think that is something that can really, really help you. Something else that will really help you is letting go of any kind of situationship that you've been in. If there's an ex that you haven't been able to get over, I feel like that would really help. Any kind of like regrets you have, any kind of limiting beliefs, any kind of negative self talk, negative self belief that you have, letting go of these things will definitely help. Something that you can do is use the energy of the full moon to release and let go. Or what you can do is just write down on a piece of paper what you'd like to let go of and safely burn it. Or, if you can't burn it, then just like tear it up into tiny little pieces and throw it away. um yeah, whatever it is that you'd like to do to, let things go. If you live near a beach, what you could do is just like write in the sand what you'd like to let go, and then just sit by, just sit at the shore and just watch the waves come and just like wipe that thing out of what you had written. Like, just see them, like, see the waves wipe that out. And, like, that can symbolize you letting something go. So say there's like an ex that you'd like to really let go of, you can write their name in the sand and then just like wait for like the waves to just erase their name from your energy. Yeah. um I mean, these are ways that you can romanticize letting things go, but like you can also do very practical things like blocking someone, or unfriending someone, unfollowing someone, stopping yourself from stalking this person, deleting this person's number so you have no way to reach out to them, or to um, drunk dial them or whatever, right? So yeah, there's practical things that you could also do, or you can romanticize this process of letting go. And yeah, that's also something that you can do. But there is something that I feel like you are holding on to, which you really should let go of, because you might be the kind of person who feels guilty very easily. Like, even if you are hurt and you have like an outburst because of how hurt you are, you feel guilty about the way that you spoke, you feel guilty about the tone of your voice or the words that you chose, which is good. It means that you are self-aware. But that could also be something that you hold on to. Maybe someone else forgives you a lot faster than you forgive yourself. So yeah, forgiving your own mistakes, letting go of your own criticism, like self criticism, self judgment, letting go of that part of yourself that cringes at the things that you do. That is something that you can let go of. And instead, be more determined, be more persistent, and put your energy into a much more productive output. Okay, in a much more productive uh yeah like yeah, just like put it into something more productive is what I'm trying to say. I could be blaming Mercury retrograde for just stumbling on my words, because I am filming this video during the retrograde. But yeah, I kind of don't want to. I just want to take accountability that I am stuttering and stumbling a little bit. But yeah, just like um, yeah, putting your energy into something more productive, like your life purpose. Now, your life purpose could be absolutely anything. Unfortunately, a lot of us tie our life purpose with our careers, but honestly, our life purpose could be anything, okay? And it doesn't have to be just one thing, it can be multiple things. Like today, suppose I have helped an old lady cross the road. That was one of my life purposes. I was meant to be in that place, in that at that time, so that I would be able to help that lady, right? So like, our life purpose isn't like a one and done sort of a thing. There are a lot of things that we could be here for, okay? A lot of things that give meaning to our life other than our career. Along with our career, okay, there are other things as well. And a lot of people like don't even want careers, okay? A lot of people don't think that their career is their life purpose. Their career is their career, it's their means of making money, and their life purpose is something completely different. So you might be someone who is an engineer who does a 9 to 5, but then on the weekends you volunteer at an animal shelter, or when you go for a walk, or like when you're walking from your house to the bus stop, say, and then you go to your office. Okay, on the way, if you're feeding a stray cat or a stray dog, that could be your life purpose, like one of your life purposes, right? um, Maybe having children, maybe having a pet, maybe looking after your parents, whatever it is. I mean, anything could be your life purpose, but just anything that makes you feel like, this, I did this for myself. I helped this person for myself, not because anybody is watching me, not because I have to, not because I'm socially obligated to do this, not because it, doing this promises me a space in heaven. No, no. I am doing this because this genuinely makes me happy. This genuinely brings me contentment, is what your life purpose is. Okay. So, like, whatever your life purpose is, trying to find it, trying to indulge in it every now and then, especially when you feel like, I personally believe that when we feel very unloved and we do an act of service, we do an act of kindness for no reason except to just like, I'm having a bad day, might as well help someone else have a good day. That in itself, that good deed in itself, just can turn your own day around and turn your own mood around and can make you feel good about yourself. So I feel like, yeah, sometimes the things that we do for other people can help us feel good. So maybe your love language is acts of service. That's something that I'm picking up on. But like, even if it isn't, like, just doing acts of service can help you fall in love with yourself, can help you feel good about yourself on days when you feel not so lovable, or on days when you feel like you want to feel more loved. Okay, so that is what I'm seeing here. Let's get some more cards. Let's get your tarot cards now. I'm going to be live shuffling the Real Talk Tarot to find out what else you can do to feel loved. So we have the Seven of Swords, we have Justice, and we have the Knight of Cups. Yes, the Knight of Cups is a very Prince Charming sort of an energy, like someone who's very charming, someone who's very kind, someone who comes across as a flirt because this person just, has that charm. They're like, yeah, they're very charming. So, like, you could be that kind of person. Like, you could be a very kind hearted, charming person. Bottom deck energy, Wheel of Fortune. So, yeah, you can very easily turn your day around. I feel like as easy as it is for you to overthink, it's also just as easy for you to stop overthinking and, pour that energy into something more productive and pour that energy inwards. I think it comes very naturally to you. I think you being an acts of service kind of a person also gives, like, also is something that comes very naturally to you. You are maybe just in general a very helpful and a very kind person. Like, you're always looking out, and like you're always maybe quite mindful of your surroundings, and if anyone else needs your help and if anyone else needs your assistance, you don't hesitate to help others because you believe in, treating everyone well, treating everyone right. You don't like seeing injustice, you don't like seeing people in pain, you don't like seeing someone down, and like you don't like seeing someone being treated badly. And that could be a superpower. I feel like you're the kind of person who just like um you are an empath. I feel also because you chose the rose quartz heart crystal, I do feel like there's a lot of love that you very freely give to other people. Like you're a very kind, very compassionate person, group number 2. And I think what the message here for you is that you need to hold on to that kindness. Okay, maybe some people in the past have taken advantage of your kindness, have taken advantage of how nice you have been, but that doesn't mean you stop being kind. That doesn't mean that you stop believing in the kindness of other people. I think it just means that you have to protect your energy. So, like, have better boundaries so that you're not taken advantage of, so that, you're not giving to a point where you feel depleted of your own energy. But at the same time, don't, overgive either. Yeah, so like just being a little bit mindful about how you are feeling in the moment. Sometimes in the process of providing justice to others, are you doing an injustice to yourself by, pushing yourself or like pushing your boundaries to a point that makes you uncomfortable, that makes you feel unsafe or tired or just depleted of your life energy, your life force. Yeah, that's something for you to be mindful about. And like, yes, you can always be there for other people, but you can also prioritize your own self. Okay, self care and being selfish every once in a while is not even that selfish. Okay, making yourself a priority is not selfish. Okay, most of the times it's not. Um so yeah, if you're at a stage in your life where or like if you're just having one of those moments where you know someone needs your help but you genuinely cannot help them because you don't have the energy for it, do not feel like you have to push yourself and be there for them, because if you don't be there for them, then you're being a bad person or you're being a bad friend. No, it's fine. It's okay. This person will understand. You can very politely set a boundary and say no and say, listen, at the moment, I just don't have the energy for it, or I don't have the bandwidth for it. Yeah, and anybody who genuinely cares about you will understand that, because at the end of the day, we all have to deal with our own problems. So anyone who is dependent on you completely to solve their problems is probably not the best energy for you to have around you, to be very honest. But I mean, that's for you to judge. um but yeah, helping someone else shouldn't come at the cost of you pushing yourself to the edge, and sometimes even over the edge, to a point where you feel so burnt out and so depleted, and you feel so taken advantage of, or you feel so emotionally drained that you don't have any love, any energy, any life force to put within your own. You don't have any love to pour into your own cup, so like how are you going to pour into other people's cups, right? So like, don't be depleted to a point where there's nothing for you to not only give to others but also not enough for you to give to yourself. Yeah, so that is the message that I have for you guys, group number one. I hope you found this reading helpful. If you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you thought about this reading in the comments below. Subscribe to my channel for more readings from me, and I'll see you all in my next one. Bye, guys. Hi, group three. Welcome to your reading. You guys chose the opalite heart crystal. So let's find out how you can love yourself more, and what you can do on days when you don't feel as lovable as you'd like to. So, first up, we have soulmates. We have Aurora. I am renewed with the dawn of each new day. Okay. We have journal. We have self care, and we have feather. Think first before you judge. Okay. Group number three, I feel like you guys might be introverts, or might be people who don't have very big social groups. Maybe you don't have too many friends. Um, and that's all out of choice, but sometimes you also feel quite lonely. Sometimes you do wish you had a girl gang, or you wish you had a soul family, or you had like that one person who you could talk to about anything and everything. And like, you don't want like a big circle or a big community, but like, you do still crave for some sort of connection. um and maybe you're at a stage in life where it's a little bit difficult to make new friends. Okay, so like, maybe you're not in school or college anymore where you like meet people on a daily basis. Like, maybe you're much older in life, and like, as you get older, it becomes a little bit more difficult to meet like-minded people and become friends with people. um so yeah, maybe you're at that age. Maybe you're like 29, maybe you're 33, maybe you're 26. Yeah. In your late 20s, early 30s maybe. Um and yeah, this is a tricky age, right? Because like yeah, I'm around that age as well. So like I get it. Like it is a tricky age. You're no longer in school or college, and like if you don't go out and work, then you don't even have colleagues. And yeah, it just becomes very difficult for you to even meet people, like meet new people. It becomes very difficult for that to happen organically. So yeah, you might be at that stage where you're craving for connection, some sort of social connection, a community, like a friend group, like yeah, connection. But maybe it's like difficult right now for you to find that, or like um you're at a stage where you're even wondering if there's something wrong with you, because you've spent so much time on your own that you maybe might be judging yourself that you're too much of a recluse, or that you have too much of anxiety, or you're too cringe, you're too unrelatable. People will think you're weird, people will think you um like people will not like you. Maybe you're at that stage where you're kind of scared to even talk to people, because you're scared of how you might come across to these people, because you have to open yourself up, right, to be able to find out whether these people are like minded or not, right? So yeah, maybe you're a little bit hesitant about being vulnerable, or just like putting yourself out there but then being rejected, or not finding what you're looking for. And just maybe even the thought of putting yourself out there and talking to new people, talking to other people, might be quite daunting or scary to you. So yeah, if that's how you're feeling, then you've picked the right group. But yeah, I definitely feel like there is a message here that you have done a lot of inner work. You are someone who's very self aware. You know what you want, you know what you don't want. And I think that you think that's a problem. You think that's what's making you stubborn. You think that's why you are so quick to judging yourself or other people. But that's actually a good thing. Being self aware is actually a good thing. Knowing what kind of energy you'd like to be around is actually a good thing. So, yeah, there is a message here for you to not feel guilty about that, to not feel bad about how self aware you are, and for not feeling guilty or bad about time that you have quote unquote wasted doing all of that inner healing, or like being indoors, or like being in a bit of a hermit mode, like not regretting that time that you have spent alone, not regretting the time that you have spent working on yourself. Because I feel like, I mean, the intention with today's reading was for it to give you guidance, but there is some sort of like prediction that's coming through as well for you guys, because we have like more than one card here that's like giving me like prediction vibes. So yeah, anyway, I do feel like there is definitely like a soul mate for you out there, and I feel like there's multiple people for you out there, because it says soul mates. Okay, so I do feel like there is maybe not just a romantic but also many platonic soulmates, right? That we can have in our lifetime. And I feel like you are one of those people that has a lot of people who will truly and genuinely get you and be by your side and be your friends, who you have probably not even met yet. So you think you're getting too old and like, oh my God, where am I going to meet them? When am I going to meet them? Will they like me? How am I going to make friends now? If that's a worry that you have, you need to stop worrying about that, because I feel like there definitely are a lot of soulmates out there for you. You do have at least one romantic partner and multiple like platonic soulmates out there for you. If you have been wanting to have like a girl gang, that is definitely something that's out there for you. And if you are someone who is a romantic, someone who would want to be in a relationship, settle down, have a family, there is a soulmate for you romantically as well, is what I can see. um there is this feeling that, like, it's not too late, you're not too old, age is just a number. Okay, people meet their soulmates at the age of 50, at the age of 60. That's also possible. Not saying that that's going to happen to you. You might meet them earlier, but I just feel like, yeah, you need to stop setting like super high standards for yourself, saying, like, that are basically very age based. Okay, standards that are very age based are what you need to stop setting up for yourself. Okay, you don't have to sit and think about, like, oh my god, I'm 33, how am I going to make friends now? Oh my god, I'm 40, how am I going to fall in love now? It's possible. Okay, it's possible, and this can all change. You can go from having no friends to having a really solid group of friends in a span of 1 year, right? You can go from being single to being in a healthy, loving relationship in a span of 6 months, right? So, like, there's no time limit on these things, there's no age limit on these things. So, like, if that's something that you have set out for yourself, or if that's something that you're scared of, the message here is to not be scared of that. Okay, to not think in those terms that you're too old or it's too late for something to happen for you. And yeah, like, um I'm burning incense on the side, so, like, yeah, it's like choking me up a little bit because it's almost towards the end. But yeah, I feel like you're aging yourself more than you need to. Okay, 30 is not that old, 40 is not that old. I mean, we have, like, people living up to 110 these days, right? We have 89-year-olds climbing the Mount Everest. So, like, what even is 30? What even is 40? It's not even half your age. Okay, so, like, yeah, any age related um limiting beliefs you have is something that you really need to let go of, and stop believing in, or, like, try to check yourself before you wreck yourself when you start having such thoughts. And instead, focus more on yourself, focus on self-care, focus on self-love, focus on what fulfills you. Okay, finding hobbies, finding things to do that you really love to do, focus on those things. And I feel like those activities could help you find your soul family, your soul group, right? Your soulmate even. So yeah, there is this emphasis of you needing to, or this emphasis on you focusing more on yourself, and then, like, just, like, letting these people come into your life, like letting them come into your life when it's divine timing for them to come into your life. Okay, every day is a new day, every dawn is a new dawn. I don't even know what I'm saying. Oh god. Okay, yeah, like every day is a new opportunity. Okay, every day could be the day that you, through serendipity, meet not just your soul family but also your soul mate. Okay, we don't know what tomorrow has in store for us. So instead of, thinking of the worst case scenario, instead of thinking of, like, oh, this is never going to happen to me, or how will it happen to me, just focus on yourself. Focus on how you can make your life more enjoyable right now, because you will never be as young as you are right now, right? So yeah, just enjoy as much as you can, just focus on yourself as much as you can, and everything else, everyone else will come into your life when the timing is right. Okay, group number 3, let's get your tarot now. Let's see what you can do to love yourself. We have the 9 of Wands. Mm-hmm. We have the lovers and we have the chariot. Yes, when you are bottom deck energy is the ace of cups. Yes, love, new love, self love, all of the love. I'm going to add this card to your reading, okay? Because this is important. This is the energy that you need to be in, okay? You need to pour yourself a cup of hot chocolate, tea, coffee, lemon iced tea, whatever it is that you like to drink. Pour yourself a cup of your favorite beverage, okay? Journal your thoughts, journal the kind of friends you'd like, journal the kind of activities you'd like to do together, write about how you would feel when you're hanging out with these people, write about how you would feel with these people in your life. What would your life look like? What would it feel like with them in your life? um, and stop comparing yourself to people online. Stop comparing your social life to that of people online, okay? There are literally people who have so many friends and they wish they didn't have that many friends, because they're not even friends, they're acquaintances who they just hang out with every Saturday and Sunday. And every Saturday and Sunday, it's probably a new friend group that they're hanging out with. So they just need to get out of their house and like socialize and mingle. These aren't connections that go skin deep. These aren't connections that are emotionally fulfilling in any way. Yes, they might look good on social media, they might feel good for a weekend, it might feel good to catch up with these people, but these are not deep connections. This is not the kind of connection you are craving for. You are craving for something that's consistent, that is deep, that is genuine, that is authentic, that is stable, secure, right? It's not something that's fleeting. It's not something that you just want to fill in time or fill in space in your life, right? So, yeah, stop comparing your friendships, your social life, your relationships to that of those online. Stop doing that, because there are literally a lot of people living for an online, like living, like their online presence is so different from what their real life is like. It's not even funny. Like, there are literally relationships that only exist on social media, there are friendships that exist only on social media, and once the camera is off, once the selfies have been taken, they don't even talk to each other, they don't even look at each other, they don't care about each other. That's the harsh reality of social media, okay? Most of it, if not all of it, is very much fake. So yeah, don't be comparing yourself to any kind of relationship that you see online, okay? Anything that you see online, if you're idolizing a couple, if you're calling someone couple goals, stop doing that, okay? Because for many reasons, but also just importantly, because if you put a couple that you know nothing about on a pedestal, okay, say a celebrity couple, you put them on a pedestal and you're like, oh my god, they're couple goals, but then that couple breaks up, what does that do to your idea of love? It kind of shatters your idea of love, right? But why did that even happen? Why did you let that happen? Because you have idealized a couple you know nothing about. You don't know whether the day that they were papped, they were actually having fun, whether they were actually in love or not. Maybe they just had a violent argument, and then they had to step out, and because they knew cameras were around, they had to hold hands, they had to kiss each other, they had to be lovey-dovey towards each other, and you saw those pictures and thought, oh my god, this is what true love is, this is what love is, this is the kind of love I want. And then you idealize it, only to realize 2 years or 3 years later, when one or two of them write a song about it, or write a book about it, do an expose about it, that's when you realize that that whole relationship was a lie, right? So like, yeah, any relationship that you see online that you know nothing about in person, do not idealize them. Even if you know this couple in person, don't idealize someone else's relationship, okay? Think about what it is that you would like in your own relationship. Think about what you would like for yourself, okay? Think about what you would like to experience in love for you, and let that be the standard, okay? You decide what true love looks like and what it feels like to you, okay? And then go about living your life, okay? Just like go about living your life, do things that bring you joy, do things that feel in alignment to who you are and where you'd want to go in the future, what you'd want to be in the future, okay? Yeah, like, just do your own thing, okay? Do your own thing, focus on yourself, focus either on your work, your self-care, your health, your hobbies. Nurture these things and everything else will fall into place. And I know that sounds cliche, that sounds like a fairy tale, but honestly, it's not. It really isn't. I'm telling you, whoever is meant to be in your life is not going to pass you by, okay? What is meant for you is going to be yours. What's not meant for you, you will not have it, no matter how much you try to hold on to it, no matter how much you change yourself, no matter how much you beg and plead. If that person's not for you, they are going to leave. If that person is a cheater, that person is going to cheat on you. That says nothing about you. That says nothing about the quality of your love, the quality of you as a person, your personality, nothing. That's about them, okay? You could be with someone who genuinely truly loves you, and they could not need to look at another person at all ever again for the rest of their lives, okay? So like, yeah, it just depends on the kind of person you're with. So yeah, just focus on yourself, pour all of your love into your own cup first. Stop comparing yourself to other people. Do your own thing. And that's when you're going to end up finding soulmates and, love that belongs in your life, that genuinely is good for you. Okay. It's like the main thing in your self care journey needs to be that you need to stop comparing yourself to others. Okay. Yeah, that is something that I'm seeing here. Also, another advice that's coming through for you is that just because you have been hurt in the past doesn't mean everybody is going to break your heart, doesn't mean everybody is going to betray you. So like, when you do get an opportunity to go out on a date or to meet someone or to talk to someone, try to give them the benefit of doubt, okay? Try to get to know them better. Don't be so quick to judge them, okay? Don't be so quick to see the slightest thing that's a little bit off about them and then call it a red flag, okay? Like, just, I mean, I'm not saying ignore the red flags, but not every little thing that you don't like about this person has to be a red flag, if that makes sense, okay? So like, um if someone says something or does something and then you tell them like, hey, I didn't like that, and if they continue doing that, then that's a red flag. I mean, that's them showing you that they don't care about your feelings, they don't care about your boundaries. But if someone genuinely apologizes and says, hey, actually, I didn't know any better, I'm sorry, and then you see changed behavior, then let that go, okay? Don't hold on to it. It's okay. People are allowed to make mistakes and they're allowed to ask for forgiveness, and you can forgive them. And if you see change in their behavior for the better, then you don't have to hold on to that, okay? Then that's not a red flag anymore, okay? So yeah, that's also a message that I'm seeing here. So like, stop trying to be super cynical and like seeing the worst in people or expecting the worst out of people just because you have experienced that in the past. doesn't mean that's what you're going to experience for the rest of your life. Okay, group number 3. So, yeah, I think that's the note I'm going to end your reading on. Let me know in the comments what you thought about it. Give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel for more readings from me, and I'll see you all in my next one. Bye, guys.